Ladies and gentlemen, in military parlance, there is a term called tactical retreat. It's a maneuver where you essentially choose to fight another day while still maintaining contact with your enemy. Now, this is what seems to have happened in Hyderabad today, where there has been a raging war between the film industry and the Chief Minister over Allu Arjun. So today, top Tollywood stars like Nagarjun and the Dagubatis met with the Chief Minister Revanth Reddy. It's a meeting that can only be called a truce meet. The 36-member strong delegation also had Allu Arjun's father, Arvind Arjun, in it. Now, this is at a time when the Chief Minister and the Hyderabad police have accused Allu Arjun for directly being responsible for his fan's death in a stampede in a theatre and for her son going into coma. The child is brain dead. The Pushpa star, whose film is breaking box office records, has maintained that the government is character assassinating him. So today's meeting is being seen as an attempt to firefight the tensions brewing between the Reddy-led Congress government and Tollywood. But the Chief Minister today did some plain talking, essentially a repeat of what he said on the floor of the House as well. He says there will not be any compromise on law and order in the state, and that it is the responsibility of actors, superstars, to rein in their fans and the frenzy. He has also said, in the wake of the stampede tragedy, there'll be no special screenings and benefit shows will also not be allowed, at least for the moment. He's also saying that the film industry needs to be ready for a hike in tickets. Can a star really be held accountable for the actions of his fan? That is a question that needs to be asked. Before we go to that, let's quickly listen into Allu Arjun's father first.
He is recovering well, and doctors are very satisfied about his recovery. Previously, he was on ventilation. In the last few days, he has come out of ventilation and he is breathing himself, and doctors say that's a very good sign and he is going to recover fast, and I wish very soon he should be walking along with us.
Okay, that is Allu Arjun's father essentially talking about the health status of the little boy, the 7-year-old, who is currently brain dead. He was the one who had also been injured in the stampede that killed his mother. My guest this evening, Mahesh Bigala, is leader of the BRS, joining us on the broadcast. Dr. Nikul Patel is a political analyst. PK Jain is a retired senior IPS officer, joining us on the broadcast. Ravi Rai is a film and TV writer. He's a producer as well. He joins us on the broadcast as well. Good evening and thank you, everyone. Mahesh Bigala, can I just start with you and ask you, the Chief Minister is saying what he has said before. He's saying, look, law and order is top priority, and if we feel that there is a superstar who is to be blamed for the death of a young woman and her son being brain dead, the star should not think that he or she will get any special treatment. So this is something that Revanth Reddy has already said. But today he's saying that stars also need to be responsible for the action of their fans. Do you agree with that? Is the Chief Minister right there?
See, it's not necessarily about the stars, or this is not particularly about any film industry. See, when it comes in general, across the board, whatever the events can take place, whether it's a political or business or whether it's in the film industry, whatever the actions as a leader, as an actor, whatever you take, you should be responsible. That's what we need to call it. It's not just on particularly about the film industry. See, certain things you can do it. Certain things are beyond your control. Certain actions are happens without a leader or without an actor. As I've been saying, quoting several times, a leader like Chandrababu Naidu, who was the chief minister then, and in his one of the event, 20 people died in the stampede. Is it basically is it Chandrababu Naidu is responsible? Certain things we need to address is not just particularly about only to the film industry. It should be across the board. That care should be taken by all the sectors. It's not only just that actors. And when they give the notice to the police, the police should, when the police denies the any of the permission, they should stop the actor or the leader at home, and then so that these kind of events doesn't repeat. See, end of the day, we've been discussing for the last 2.5 weeks. There's so much of attention in the state and even in the national media All we need to pray and look for the victims. The victim, one of the victim is gone, and the second, the boy, he should recover soon. He should get back to the normal, and certain things we should welcome.
Mr. Bigala, Mr.
Financial
Bigala,
support coming
then
up.
can I ask you why you think this meeting was held? Why do you think this meeting was held? Is it because at some point or somewhere the film industry realizes that they were too quick to defend Allu Arjun without knowing the full facts? And maybe he made mistakes as well? I'm not saying that intentionally he led to the stampede. That's not what I'm saying. But is there a realization within within the film industry in Telangana that maybe their superstar made some mistakes as well, especially in the way he dealt with the police?
See, it is not good for the state, even not for the industry and not for the politics. The way the things, whatever took place, see, we need to sympathize, as I've been saying always, that the victim has lost the poll, and there shouldn't be any politics or something on this ground. So whatever happened, the CM he addressed in the assembly, state assembly, and then again Allu Arjun reacted, and he had a press meet, and he reacted to that as well. But end of the day, we need to put the stop. And I think the series of incident, whatever took place, maybe then after that, the Dil Raju, he's the producer who is also the Film Development
Okay.
Corporation chairman. He was traveling. So as soon as he came from US, then he started bridging the gap between the government and as well as the film industry. So it is like anybody should really welcome these kind of meetings, and across the board you should talk, negotiate, and
Okay.
address the issues than like attacking somebody's house or vandalizing or going on the streets. It's for everything and anything. There is a solution when you sit
Okay.
across the board.
Mr. Jain, when the Chief Minister of Telangana says that stars need to rein in their fans and frenzy, essentially be accountable for the actions of their fans, is it fair? There'll be times when it will not be possible. There will be some times when it will be possible, but other times it may not be possible.
Shreya, good evening. See, the CM has all the right to say and suggest many things in a situation like this. I can tell you from my personal experience that there are a number of political rallies where some of the leaders do give an undertaking that their followers will fall in line, they will not create any law and order situation, and the situation invariably goes from bad to worse, stone pelting, lathi charge, sometimes even firing. Are we holding those politicians responsible? In very, very minuscule number of cases, we prosecute them. In this case, I think prosecuting Allu Arjun is too far-fetched. He was a person, there was a premiere which was permitted by the government, by the local police or administration. The premiere was held. It was mentioned categorically that the star cast may also come. It was the job of the police to maintain bandobast there, adequate bandobast, knowing his popularity and the popularity of the film. There's no reason why he should be held accountable for this incident. If the ACP says that he was not allowed to meet the star, it is an absolute bullshit. In my experience of 34 years in the police in Mumbai, which is again the center of the Bollywood, I have yet to see a star not meeting a police officer when there's a grave situation. So, I mean, now, but once unfortunately the CM has taken a stand in the assembly, there's no going back for him. But in my own professional assessment, I find that Allu Arjun cannot be held accountable and responsible for this kind of an incident. At best, there could be it's an unfortunate incident. A lady has lost her life. The son is brain dead. He's serious. All those things are there. But you cannot hold a person accountable when he was only a visitor. He was only invited there to promote his film. That's about it. I don't know how the government is functioning. I mean, we have a much bigger industry in Mumbai to deal with. And I'm yet to come across an incident, where we had to prosecute a star for his fans' deeds. Shreya.
No, my point is, if my point is, and I'll just get Ravi Rai into the conversation as well. Mr. Rai, my point will be then that if, in the South, a lot of film stars end up becoming politicians. Now, if they can tell their fans to vote for them, can they not tell their fans to behave themselves? Mr. Ravi Rai.
Good evening, Shreya. No, first of all, I mean, I've been saying about this case. This is one of the rarest of the rare case. I mean, I don't remember in my entire 60 years any star being penalized or punished for a stampede the fans have created. I mean, how do you punish a star for it? You know, and in today's times, Shreya, you have event management companies. It is not a star or his manager managing things. There are documents written, and I'm sure the theater, I forget the name of the theater, Sandhya. They had written
Sandhya Theatre.
a permission to the police commissioner there. This is the day Allu Arjun is coming. So, for example, I mean, let us assume the police commissioner wrote a letter that you cannot. Let us assume he said this, but also they could have deployed the forces there to see if he comes, turn him back there. And there are event management companies there which do not have 5 people or 10 people. They have squads of, and they're on the walkie-talkies, they're on the mobiles. Kisar has left. They could have diverted him back, you know. And as I'm watching, I'm reading the news and I'm glued to the whole thing. The accident occurred much before Allu Arjun came there. That's what the CCTV report says. And also, like I remember when I was a teenager, Shreya, we used to go to see these Mohammedan sporting and Mohan Bagan and East Bengal football matches. You cannot control the frenzy of the fans. I mean, they sir pe wo mathe pe lal tika or kala tika to show their belongings, and we were sure there would be casualties, and there are casualties in the music events also. I mean, how do you blame a star? I mean, अगर
Correct.
ऐसा सब कुछ हो गया, then I wouldn't want to be a star because अगर ये सब कुछ हो रहा है, and I also very
नहीं
strongly
रवि
feel,
राय,
मतलब
आप स्टार की बात कर रहे हो.
whatever.
मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देती हूँ. I'll give you an example. You know Taylor Swift, right? You know who Taylor Swift is? She controls an army of fans. They call themselves Swifties. Now she writes a song. She writes a song about an ex-boyfriend who also happens to be an actor. She doesn't say it's about the ex, but the entire world and her fans know it's about her ex-boyfriend. Her entire army of fans on social media takes to abusing and attacking that actor. And the actor finally has to step out and say, guys, you need to control your fans. Because this is what they are doing. And if you don't tell them to stop, they will not stop. So the responsibility is yours. This is an actor saying this to another famous celebrity who controls an army of fans.
Yeah, like Shreya, I remember, Rajesh Khanna was a huge superstar. And I remember when he got married, there were girls slitting their wrists and writing letters to him and trying to commit suicide. But Rajesh Khanna was not penalized for it. I mean, how can you do that? And especially South has a bigger fan base. I mean, the reverence there for the star is, मतलब भगवान तो बना ही देते ना वहाँ पे, you know. And the most important thing was that theater में एक ही entry है, एक ही exit है. You know, why don't you bring that into consideration also? You know. So I personally feel this is all a witch hunt, which comes to your mind.
Dr. Nikul Patel, that is what all three panelists on the show seem to be saying, that this is a witch hunt. How can you hold a star accountable and responsible for the way the fans behave? How can you blame Allu Arjun for the stampede and the death of the woman? It's as simple as that. Now, the Chief Minister has gone on the floor of the House saying what he has. Today, there has been a meeting with the film industry and the Chief Minister, but the Chief Minister is maintaining his stand.
See, today the delegation met Chief Minister regarding what Allu Arjun is facing right now, and that is their own due right and responsibility to defend their community. Now, when it comes to the case of Allu Arjun, if you see, initially it was IPC, now it is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and if you see the sections which were imposed on Allu Arjun is, I think, 105 and 118/1. I would like to say over here is that the stampede is being put into that thing, and any stampede happening due to anything has to be make responsible. If you see in Uttar Pradesh that Maharaj was held responsible when the stampede happened and people have died. Over here, if you see,
Dr. Patel,
the Telangana government had
Dr.
not filed any
Patel,
case. The
breaking
case is
news.
being put by the complainant who's
Breaking
near.
news. That Baba was not even named in the FIR. The UP police is so great. So
Hello.
that Baba was not made responsible for the killing of 39 people.
I would like to just convey that over here, if you see, the case is being put by the person who had lost the life of her wife. And in that, if you see, the explanation was made about Allu Arjun. The police is doing the course, what action is required, and the court had summoned Allu Arjun, not government. Secondly, when the court has summoned Allu Arjun, government has done the formality, and ultimately Allu Arjun got the bail from High Court. Over here, I would they say that as an analyst that the government is acting as per the law, and the Allu Arjun as a good citizen of the country has to follow the procedure and has to make him free from whatever allegations as being or the charges that are being put through the court of law. That is the only solution right now.
Okay.
I think CM Reddy is doing what he is bound
Mahesh,
to do it as per the law of the country.
Mahesh Bigala, was today's meeting that all these Tollywood producers and directors and film stars held with Revanth Reddy an attempt to try and go a little soft on Allu Arjun? Because, you know, while it is being said it was to discuss the issues of the industry, clearly the biggest issue of the industry right now is the controversy that is going on. The fact that Telugu cinema's biggest star went to jail, albeit for a couple of hours, but he did have to go to jail, and then he had to face questioning, and he's accused number 11 in the death of a woman. Is that even fair? If you say let the law take its own course, let the law take its own course, the matter is already in court, then why go to the Chief Minister and try and soften things up a bit for Allu Arjun?
See, as I was saying that, the film development chairman, corporation chairman was traveling and he just came back. And then as soon as he came back to Telangana, then he met the chief minister and again he met the industry, so, all the producers, actors and everything. The meeting took place. See, one thing is that, the meeting took place, but only the timing, because it's like, when it is happening about this Allu Arjun's case, we need to discuss on that more in detail. But it is good and welcoming for the industry to discuss their issues, and even for the government, instead of going against them or going against any actor or something, if there are certain issues. See, even in the Allu Arjun's case, what we've been always saying is that the actor is not going to run away. Just if there is a need, you can give them the notice. If you need to investigate, interrogate, the law has its own course. Like the actor has his own rights. He can go to the court. That's how he got the bail. So there are several options available even for the government or police or even to the actor on his own. But today's, as you said, the industry, probably there is some kind of a softening things like to smoothen up instead of both the parties like going aggressively against each other. It may be a good idea that, as I was saying, sit across the table and sort out the things.
But what is there to sort out? The fact is one woman is dead, her child is brain dead, and someone will have to be accountable and someone will have to face action. While it is all very well for us to say that Allu Arjun is accused number 11 and he is being treated as accused number 1, I get the point there, but someone has to be held accountable because right now it's all over the place. We'll leave it there for the moment. Mahesh Bigala, thank you very much. Dr. Patel, good to have you on the show. PK Jain, thank you very much. And Ravi Rai, good to have you on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'm slipping into a break. My colleague Sneha is joining you up next. Do stay with us.